So Eddie Van Halen died.
Yeah, yeah.
He did.
Been fighting cancer a long time, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so he had like a tongue cancer thing, about 10, 15 years ago, and had licked that, but apparently lung cancer
You didn't. You didn't.
didn't. And I don't think we can say anything that hasn't already been said.
No.
And I think it goes without saying, like, probably the most influential modern musician ever.
Yeah, certainly right up there. Certainly right up there.
And I was having this conversation with a friend of mine who came over to shoot earlier this evening, and it was just like, it wasn't just that he had this incredible style and he had the he wrote these great riffs and he wrote these amazing songs, and he built like an industry.
Yeah.
Like the form factor of a super strat did not exist
Right.
before Eddie Van Halen.
Right. Right.
And then it became like the only thing for years and years and years.
Yeah.
Um,
And
and for,
his signature graphic on it became so iconic. So
yeah,
like the art of that guitar is just you know this week it's everywhere.
yeah. I mean, for me, he's the reason why I picked up a guitar.
Mm.
The pound, it was the Pound Cake video.
Mm.
So in that case, it was watching some guy play a guitar with a freaking drill,
Right.
and I was like, ooh,
Right.
I want to do that.
Right.
So that was it.
Right. Right. Well,
You know,
yeah. I mean, the album 1984 was absolutely formative for me. I was 12 at the time, and the song that got me. The song. A lot of people's guitarists say "Hot for Teacher" was the one that really slayed him. For me, it was Panama.
yeah,
Panama was like
yeah,
that was my tune, and I've covered Panama a bunch of times. Learning the solo section of Panama was like an epiphany for me. It was my first exposure to several techniques that he pioneered. Swirling to tap, doing Panama. So yeah, it's a big blow.
yeah. And seeing I mean, obviously people are upset and sad, and all of my friends and my entire news feed is blown up about it. But like all of these celebrities and all of these famous musicians, the one that I was really taken aback by was Yngwie Malmsteen.
I didn't hear it.
Wrote like a very heartfelt, humble, like loving post about Eddie Van Halen,
Huh.
which, if I'm being perfectly honest, is kind of off-brand for Yngwie
Yeah.
Malmsteen. If I'm being, he's always kind of been this cocky guy who's like, oh, I'm the best, and oh, every time I'm walking in the front door, he's walking out the back door, kind of like, playful, kind of arrogance, whatever. But like, his take was genuine and heartfelt and kind of sweet, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, one of the true innovators. Like everybody owes him. Everybody owes him. For every 10 notes you play, you owe him 4.
yeah. I think I saw a really cool one that's like, even your grandma knows that guy's good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. She may have only heard about Beat It, but she knows.
Yeah, I think I was the innovation thing is really impressive. A few years back, he did like a sit down thing with I think it was the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
And they were talking about like
Oh yeah.
about innovation.
So
it was like
good.
one of the most fascinating 45 minutes to an hour
It's
of my
really
life.
good. Yeah.
And really he's up there with like Les Paul for like really inventing, pioneering things that like we all kind of take for granted that
Right.
like they've always been there. Like no, they weren't, and he was a part of them, being so prevalent and
Yeah.
mainstream. So
Yeah. Yeah. And like Les Paul, just as much a guitar technician as a player, just as much an inventor in the physical realm as, techniques and styles and all of that.
yep. So rest in peace, Eddie.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
It's a truly devastating loss.
Yeah.
There's a very short list of celebrities that I really felt connected to, and he is one of them. So.
So
Timothy Gerald just chimed in on the live stream, said, we did an EVH listening party at my job on Wednesday. Listened to all their albums,
Yeah.
which should have been a lot of fun.
yeah, it's great.
Do you have a favorite song other than Panama?
I mean, yeah, but I'm pretty fixated on 1984. That whole album really just blew my mind, and I've never recovered. So
We've already, I mean, we already talked about it in an earlier episode of Drop Dead Legs.
yeah,
One of the such a badass riff.
The swagger in that riff is just like
Yeah,
juicy.
they're the American dream just like fulfilled in one lifetime.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's beautiful.
okay.
All right. Yeah.
So Matt Nielsen jumped in. Eruption is what got me. I think it's the song that launched 1,000 ships.
Totally.
And for that generation, Eruption was the Beatles on Ed Sullivan.
Well, yeah, and the notion that this guitar virtuoso could take electric lead guitar solo, like hold the whole song. It was a complete revolution.
And also like smiling the entire time.
Totally. No, yeah, who he was on stage was so like,
just effortless.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Joyous. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for everybody tuning in on the live stream. It's just I think that's what we want to do more than anything is just like let people talk. I know for some of us it feels like we only get to kind of like talk about this in like our little groups, and we don't get to gig out and hang out with our musician friends.
Right.
So this is our big backstage, back alley, hang post gig talking about this kind of stuff. So thanks for chiming in, everybody.